Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we are looking at those fights on the SNES that turned our SNES controllers into two SNES controllers. I snapped a controller. Did that make sense? These are the 20 hardest bosses you can face on the SNES. Let's go. Before we continue, we publish content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. Culex Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. We were already floored seeing Mario waiting his turn to jump on someone, but we were terrified when we found that one locked door in Super Mario RPG that screamed, "Definitely don't open this, unless you want to suffer." Behind it is an interdimensional smackdown against Culex, the most Final Fantasy looking thing ever dropped into a Mario game, and oh boy, is he tough. Culex is basically a walking health bar with an attitude who immediately summons 4 elemental crystals that proceed to bully your entire party. Magic? Don't even bother, it's like throwing confetti at Mike Tyson. M. Bison Street Fighter II Turbo. Fight! M. Bison wasn't just a boss, he was the final exam you didn't study for. Unlike most cheap fighting game villains with god-tier damage and teleport behind you nonsense, Bison played fair. Mostly. His speed and power matched yours. It was your skill versus his terrifying AI reflexes. One wrong move, Psycho Crusher to the face. Too defensive, he'll throw you like yesterday's garbage. It was a battle of patience, precision, and praying your thumbs didn't cramp. Which they will. I think mine are still cramped. Tanzra's Gauntlet ActRaiser. The final boss of ActRaiser sucks, and it sucks well before it sucks. Before you even get to the last boss, you're thrown into a boss rush, where every villain you've previously defeated comes back for round 2. No breaks, no healing, just pure pain. It's like the world's worst reunion tour. Survive that gauntlet and Tanzra himself finally shows up for a multi-phase showdown. Luckily, you score a laser shooting sword for the finale because nothing says divine justice like vaporizing evil with a medieval lightsaber. It's brutal, exhausting, and legendary. Mark's Kirby Superstar. Kirby Superstar Ultra is the Nintendo DS remake of the SNES classic. It's basically the same game, just with more pixels and more pain. We all crossed our fingers that they would have toned down Marks a bit, but they didn't. Marks is tough because he's fast, super fast. He's unpredictable and covers the screen with chaotic attacks. He teleports, fires lasers, drops black holes, and launches projectiles like he just jumped out of a bullet hell game. His patterns demand perfect timing and dodging, turning Kirby's cute showdown into pure pink panic. Andros Star Fox. The original SNES entry is usually not talked about as much as Star Fox 64, but that doesn't mean it's not a landmark in game design, with one of the hardest and most unique bosses of the 90s. This fight's basic concept would be upgraded with better graphics and sound effects in future iterations of the franchise, but the original still stands out as something special all these years later. Now we just need Nintendo to make a proper new Star Fox game so we can see how Andros looks on the Switch, and how hard he's going to be. Dragon Chan Super Punch-Out. Fight! Super Punch-Out is still one of the best sports games on the SNES, no question. And before anyone yells about the Bruiser Brothers or that elderly dude who thought boxing with a cane was a good idea, hear me out. They might come up later. For now, we're talking about Dragon Chan, the guy who apparently thinks he's in Street Fighter. 1 second you're fine, the next he's flying across the ring with a nuclear-powered kick. Miss one dodge, and it's back to the start, questioning every life choice. Ganon, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. The SNES Zelda entry doesn't mess around. It's the game that separates true heroes from people who still can't figure out the horse in Ocarina of Time. Naturally, the Ganon fight is pretty brutal. Phase 1 is a dodge fest, where the magic cape can save your butt, just don't burn through your magic meter faster than Link downs potions. Phase 2 cranks up the chaos. Light the torches with the fire rod like a frantic electrician, then whip out those silver arrows for some sparkly demon slaying. Mana Beast, Secret of Mana. Secret of Mana is a SNES masterpiece. 3-player chaos, gorgeous graphics, epic music, and a story that actually matters. Its real-time combat made bosses feel way more intense than boring turn-based encounters. Case in point, the Mana Beast. This hulking terror fills the screen and hits like a truck, but its size also makes it a giant target. The real challenge isn't hitting it, it's deciding which weapons and spells to unleash at the right moment, like picking the perfect seasoning for a very angry meal. It's strategy disguised as hack and slash, and it really works. Captain K. Rool, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest. Donkey Kong Country 2, arguably the crown jewel of the series, ends with a final boss that's as brutal as it is brilliant. The 3-stage K. Rool fight has you dodging projectiles and learning his every sneaky move, which sounds easy until he turns into a barrel-spitting maniac. This encounter perfectly blends the platforming puzzles that make DKC levels so clever with pure boss chaos. Oh, and the music. So good. Sardius, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Super Ghouls and Ghosts is a 16-bit masterpiece wrapped in pure frustration. Capcom basically invented rage quitting with this one. Levels constantly shift, enemies respawn like they're on infinite coffee, and Arthur goes down faster than a piñata. Then comes Sardius, the final boss, a hulking demon king who moves like molasses but hits like a semi-truck. His bizarre mouth projectiles feel unfair at first, but with enough trial, error, and screaming, you learn the rhythm. Beat him and you've earned the ultimate gamer brag. Stage 4 boss, Contra III, The Alien Wars. Alright, we're in the top 10, and buckle up because Contra 3's Stage 4 boss is where tough becomes, are you kidding me? The stage itself is already chaos. Speeder bikes, airborne enemies, mini-bosses. Then you hang from a missile-launching helicopter to face the main boss. You need borderline sharpshooter aim and ninja-level control mastery because one slip sends you plummeting to instant doom. It's hard, but it's very Contra. Dr. Tongue, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. For the few brave souls who can face him, welcome to Dr. Tongue's Nightmare Lab. The good doctor chugs a mystery potion and turns into a giant, lightning-fast tarantula with a hitbox designed by Satan himself. And no, there isn't an arachnophobia mode. He zips around spewing webs and spawning baby spiders. Just when you think he's toast, he morphs into a floating head, because why not? If you're thinking, wait, I have no memory of this boss, it's because almost nobody survives the 40 plus levels of chaos to actually meet him. Moldorm, Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Uh-oh, we're back in A Link to the Past. Although Ganon is tough, Moldorm is on another level of evil. This bug-eyed, wiggly nightmare zips around the arena like it just snorted a line of sugar. With every hit, he only gets faster and more unpredictable. One wrong move and boom, you're knocked off the platform. Sure, skill helps, but a healthy dose of luck is also required. Survive long enough without thunder punching your SNES into orbit and you'll earn eternal respect. Gygas Earthbound. Earthbound needs no introduction, and its final boss, Gygas, also needs no introduction. Gygas is the ultimate example of fear, a swirling mass of pure evil that looks like someone plugged anxiety into a supercomputer. You don't beat him by brute force, you literally have to pray for help from everyone you've met, which is both heartwarming and terrifying. Fun fact, Gygas' shapeless design was inspired by a childhood trauma involving a horror movie, which is as scary as it gets. Dracula, Castlevania, Dracula X. Castlevania games are tough, but Dracula X said, "Hold my coffin." I'm stupidly proud of that joke. Everything here is pain, endless enemies, pixel-perfect jumps, and a final boss that feels like Dracula personally hates you. He unleashes a barrage of near-impossible attacks while you hop across tiny platforms. With the patience of a nun and perfect timing, you can win, but expect to rack up more game overs than a Battletoads playthrough. Ridley Super Metroid. If you've somehow survived Super Metroid's maze of misery, you've earned a date with Mother Brain. She's tough, but the real gatekeeper is Ridley, the winged war crime that comes before her. Facing him unprepared is like showing up to a boss fight with a Nerf gun. Most players end up backtracking for more energy tanks and missiles just for this fight. Even fully stocked, this close quarters chaos is no joke. Still, taking him down does feel incredible. Rick Bruiser Super Punch-Out. The final stretch of Super Punch-Out makes medieval torture look like a day spa. The Bruiser brothers, Rick and Nick, are absolute nightmares. Technically, Nick's the final boss, but Rick is the real monster. It's like fighting a brick wall that punches back. Memorizing his attack patterns helps, but let's be honest, there's a fair bit of praying involved too. Landing that knockout punch on Rick feels less like a victory and more like an exorcism. Few SNES moments compare to watching that mountain of muscle finally hit the map. Shao Kahn Mortal Kombat 2.
You will die, mortal.
Some bosses demand such a heroic grind that by the time you reach them, you're too exhausted to fight. Enter Shao Kahn, Outworld's resident gym bro and professional pain dispenser. He blocks everything, taunts you mid-fight, and shaves off most of your health bar with one big punch. Still, with absurd patience, you can eventually crack his armor. Or, crack the plastic armor of the SNES controller.
No.
Lavos Chrono Trigger. Sure, you can make the final boss of Chrono Trigger a little easier, just grind for hours, unlock every tech, and gear up like you're preparing for the apocalypse, but even then, Lavos doesn't go down easily. This is the ultimate showdown, a time-spanning, planet-saving slugfest against a being with cosmic anger issues. Every phase tests your patience and strategy. Beating a boss like this gives you a genuine feeling of accomplishment, and Lavos is no exception. Sigma, Mega Man X, and Mega Man X3. For this final entry, we couldn't help but include two entries as one. What the Sigma? I hate myself. The Mega Man series is a masterclass in controller snapping frustration, and Sigma is the perfect example. In X, you're dodging lightning and trying to line up a shot on Wolf Sigma's tiny weak spot like you're threading a needle during an earthquake. Then X3 doubles down with Kaiser Sigma, whose hitbox is roughly the size of your self-esteem after dying for the 40th time. Both battles are so brutal, they make you question whether Dr. Light actually wanted you to win. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.